In 3, 2, 1.
Hello, are we live?
Still setting up your meeting for YouTube Live.
Yes, we are live.
Oh, okay. Nice.
All right.
Okay. Hi, everybody. It is a
Hello.
Friday and I just had my lunch, even though it's before 11 a.m. It's before
Brunch.
Yes, I had my brunch and and today we are going to go right straight to the topic today.
Yes.
I think we have already established it in the title above or below.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about the different business entity in Singapore and how they are different. So we can start off like, what are the business entities that we know so far?
For me, I know Soprop, LLP, LP, Private Limited. I know there's a public company. I'm not sure about that though.
Public.
Do you know? Yeah, there's a like a different kind. Yeah, but the 4 I kind of know what it's all about. Like Soprop, LP, LP, and Private Limited.
Okay, for me, I only know 3.
Okay.
Because it's in like Soprop, yes. And then LP, LLP, I only know LLP because
of TFA.
Yeah, because of TFA. So that's LLP. And then the last one is Private Limited, which is pretty straightforward because I mean, like, you know, like if you want to register business, you always put that like Private Limited. So it's kind of like clear cut what it is about. Okay. So maybe we can just start with what we understand for sole prop. So sole prop is a short form of sole proprietorship.
Yes,
right.
Correct. So, I mean, as the name says, sole, right?
It's not S-O-U-L.
It's
not S-O-U-L. It's S-O-L-E. Like
yes, correct.
One.
Like solo, one person.
Yeah, solo,
so
yes.
basically, like by the name, I think a lot of business owners would already know what sole proprietorship. Did I mention it correctly?
Yes,
yeah.
correct.
So prop is all about, it's a one man show or one woman show. So usually for freelancers, especially if you are running your business alone, high chance you will be registering your business as a sole prop, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what's your understanding on sole prop?
I guess for me personally, it's about the fees. So I mean, like, because as we're, when we're starting out as a freelancer and we want to get ourselves registered, we don't want to pay too much for our own goods. So like what I understand for sole prop is that yes, from the name itself, it's you're alone running your business. And then in terms of like fees, because certain tiers you have to pay a certain fee like per month to keep that title or something like that. So sole prop, you don't really have any fees. So if you're starting out as a freelancer, I mean, funds are not there yet. So sole prop is a good start to look professional and it's kind of easy on the pocket as well.
Correct. It's not that expensive. When I first started, it's even a lot more cheaper than compare. I'm not sure how much do you pay last time? I mean now? You have already registered, right?
Yeah, so I registered, I think it was 2021. It was like about 30 plus 30 to 60, that range. So it's less than 100. So yeah, less than 100 bucks.
Yeah, mine was, I think, between 20 to 30 back then. Yeah, it was not even 50. But I think it's good that they, I think, kind of like increase the price to have the responsibility, I guess, for yourself. You are kind of like be what do you call it, be responsible towards your own business.
Right.
Yeah, but from your point of view, right, do you think as a freelancer, should they register or they can actually not register at all?
Okay, that is a very good question because personally, I feel that different people would see their business differently. So for my experience, like I registered when the business wasn't even running. Like I make sure like the fundamentals, I make sure that like I have the domains, I have I kind of book everything in all the platforms first. And then because so the reason why I do that, even though my business is not even active yet, because I was sure that I was going to go through with it like thick or thin. So it really depends on yourself, because if like for me, I've already went through like don't know how XYZ years of freelancing, and then like now is the time for me to like be what I call it, like be represented professionally. So if you're just starting out and you're still trying here and there, my advice would be you just try out first, and once you are certain about the path that you want to go through in freelancing, then you register.
Yes, correct.
That's for me.
I think in terms of this context, I think it's more of like if you want to try out first before you even register, you can do that as well. But I'm also similar like AJ. I registered when I first started the business itself, whether or not I
have client or not.
last, one got client or not, whether I could actually last the freelance business for a long time. So I kind of like be sure that I got my ground right to be registered in the ACRA. But that's sole prop. But of course there are some pros and cons to be registered under sole prop lah. You want to share about a little bit of the pros and cons that you understand?
The cons I don't know. I mean, like I always see the good side of things.
Good job.
Because like
always see the good side. That's a good thing.
Because I always see the good side of things, and then later on when I feel like it's not working for me, then I will look at other things. So I guess I will cover the pros. So the pros. The good thing is that you are reliable for your business, and if I remember correctly, whatever happens to the business, it will not affect your assets, or will it affect your assets?
It will.
It will. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. My bad. So it will affect. So basically, whatever happens to you happens to the business, right? Like, so you and your business are like one entity,
correct.
right?
It's together. Entity. You are married to the company. Your company married to you. You marry company, like that.
So anything happens to both of y'all both get it, right?
Yes. Correct. Okay, so basically, your assets.
Isn't that cons then?
It is lah. It is, yeah. But then, like you said, when you are first starting out, sole prop is a good place, or I would say a good tier to start off with, because most of the time that's how you first started, because you don't know, right, whether you want to continue doing it or not. And in terms of closing the company, if you are registered as a sole prop, it's easier compared to the rest. Not much of a paperwork that you need to do when you close the company. You just need to either, if it's already going to expire, you just don't renew it, or you just close lah, like deactivate the company.
Do we have any penalties if, let's say, for sole prop? Like, I mean, like
no
penalties.
No penalty, because I feel to them also, because we are just trying out in that sense. But at least we are in the side lane of the bigger organization lah. Like when they see side mirror, like, oh, got sole prop here, they can support, you see, like that kind of thing. Like if there's anything happen, like if again pandemic happen, like COVID, and we are again affected, if you are at least in the freelance, I would say, sorry, in the sole prop group, they can still support you. The larger organization lah.
That's true.
So that's always a good thing, and not so good thing in any tier that you go in lah. But for a start as a freelancer, it's good to start off with sole prop, because it's the easiest to go into. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I guess, did we cover the pros and pros and cons for so
Yeah,
far.
somehow.
Yeah, so I mean, we're just sharing based on whatever
Our
knowledge that
experience,
we have.
yeah.
Yeah, our experiences. Okay, so we have a disclaimer. Okay, we are not
Correct.
ECRA pro, we're not an
Expert.
expert in that
Yeah.
area. We're just sharing based on our experience. And of course, we speak to people and stuff like
Yes.
that. So do take our whatever our sharing with a pinch of salt. But if you
Yep.
do want to know more, head down to the website. If it's too much for you to handle, you can always call their hotline.
Yes.
Or if you still have time today, we will have a bike class happening today.
Tonight.
Oh yes, tonight. Yes, tonight. So
yes.
I mean, we have a pretty much nice amount of hours if you want to consider to drop by later.
I mean, if you are not able to come for tonight, there's always a rewatch. If you feel that this is really something and you are serious about your business and you want to know what's the different entities or what different tiers to register your business in Singapore, then you can catch the replay of our bike class. You can head down to our website at www.thefreelancersacademy.com/bite class. The description is below. Okay, the link to the bike class is below in the description. So just click away and you can watch the replay. Yeah.
Okay.
I was just finding what's the word.
You just said the word replay.
I know, right?
Okay. So
yes.
Next we have LK. LP is limited proprietorship. I think it's proprietorship.
Yes.
Limited proprietorship. Because there's LP and then there's LL, right?
LP, correct. If I remember correct, liability limited.
Limited liability.
Limited liability proprietorship.
And liability proprietorship or limited.
Yes.
Liability.
Yeah, correct.
LP is okay. So 1L is liability proprietorship, and then double L is limited liability proprietorship. Okay. So L.
Correct.
Okay. I know they both sound very similar, but they are very different from each other from that 1L. Yeah. So
yes, correct.
Okay. So for we can share what is the liability proprietorship.
I think we go into the LLP first, which is our company.
Limited liability proprietorship.
Yes.
Okay. So
are you sure you want to say the whole thing?
No, I need to make sure that I pronounce it properly. Properly. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. So for LLP, what I recall is that when the two of us, we came together and I think what we have mentioned earlier, before we even kickstart anything for TFA, we make sure we register. we register the business first, and to make sure that our name is already we chope the name first. So that's what we did for TFA.
Yes.
Right, that's what we did. I think before we do anything, we make sure that everything is all settled. And then when we're looking at all the different entities, the business entities in Singapore, we decided to go to LLP because it supports two founders. It supports two founders.
Yeah, correct.
And if I remember correctly, does it touch our assets or not?
It is similar to private limited. So basically it doesn't. It's just that it has a little bit of difference in terms of LLP and private limited. So basically LLP, if anything happened to both of us, it will just go on the company itself.
So the company can be on its own.
Yeah, correct. So basically the partners, both of us, of the partners of the LLP, right, will not be held personally liable if there's any business debts or whatever.
So that's why it's called limited.
Yes, correct. Okay.
So limited liability is basically whatever happens to the founders.
Yes.
Let's say whatever worst case scenario, the business can either run on its own, or if let's say the business is not doing well, it won't affect the founders.
Correct. It works similar to private limited company. It's just that it is a little bit I would say it's a little bit easier to understand. And also
And lesser
in terms
people.
of lesser people, yes.
Yep.
And also in terms of our accounts and all, we can do ourselves.
Yeah.
You don't have, okay, later we have to go into
later. Later. We haven't finished yet, then we want to go to the other one
finish
already.
yeah.
Okay, so that's for LLP.
But of course, LLP, but of course LLP you must keep accounting and accounting records lah. So if you want to see the difference between LLP and SP, right, which is the sole prop. Sole prop, you kind of like if you keep your accounting records, right, is to your own keeping. So you don't have to, it's your own keeping for you to go into your form B. Is it B?
Yeah.
I think
form
so.
B,
Yeah.
so
when you when you go into your income tax and all that, right?
Income tax,
yeah.
yes. People
so,
like, what form B is this? Where's form A?
When you go to income tax and all that, you have the profit and loss already. So you kind of like have the mindset already that you created your accounts for SP. But for LLP, it is a required. You are required mandatory to keep accounting records, your profit and loss accounts, and then basically this accounts sometimes the ACRA wants to check. Yeah, so that's the difference lah, in a sense. So if you started off from SP, is good that you keep
practice,
records.
you practice all your expenses, your profit and loss. So later on when you transition into LLP or LP or private limited in future, and then that's where like the finance bit is a bit serious. So you don't it's nothing new for you. It's just that you need to manage as you go into different stages. Okay.
Correct. Okay, so are we going to LP?
LP, no, are we gonna forget?
LP, okay. LP, let me see whether let me try to rephrase my words, okay, to make it as understandable as possible.
Okay.
So LP, it's similar to SP, which is sole prop. So whatever happened to you and the business, you kind of like gel together. It's just that for the account side, you have to keep.
For LP, is it?
LP, yes. But most people that I know, this is from my experience, most people that I know, if they want to go into partnership, they always go to LLP straight. They don't go to LP because it's similar to SP. What's the point of me changing from SP to LP when it's the two of them? I mean, the business and the name, your own personal name, it's kind of like married together. So from my experience that I speak to a few people, usually they convert from SP. If they grow bigger, they have like a partner like both of us. They will go into LLP because they want to have the experience of private limited, running a private limited company. Because of the accounts, because of if anything happened to both of us, the company will not be affected, or if anything happened to the company, our personal assets will not be affected.
Yes.
So that's the LP lah. LP usually, to me, my experience, LP, not many people.
It's there, but it's not really that popular. But if it fits your bill, then yes. We are. But okay, I mean, we are not it doesn't mean SP is better than LP, but it really depends on, where you stand with your business. Yeah, correct. Okay.
Correct,
Okay, let's go to the last one. I think we covered, pretty much.
Private limited.
Okay, I want to share.
Okay, go.
Excited. Okay. So, so private limited, my understanding is that it is like the boss of all business entity. I mean, it's like the biggest, right? It's the biggest boss in the business entity tier.
Yes.
Okay, and and private limited is where, it really sounds like you're running a legit business, you have like a shop or like an office, and then you have like a team of people working under you. So it's really like a proper a proper running company. I mean, that's my understanding. So private limited, sure. Usually if people have shops, like physical store, they usually have to have the private limited for a reason. And aside from that, similar to LLP, like whatever happens to the company. I mean, if let's say your company is really well and you want to sell your company, so private limited is good because you're selling, like it's like your company is like a product, so you sell a product and then you can open up another private limited company later on. So yeah, so I mean that's if you want to play that game. And another thing also, recently I think we found out, okay, maybe it's me who found out that if your company is, let's say for example, we take TFA as a private limited company. So it can be like the main branch, the main company branch, and below that you can actually have like sub companies. So for example, one day I decided to open my own bakery, like AJ Bakes.
AJS Bakery.
Like AJ Bakes and Burn or something like that. Okay, something like that.
Why must have Burn?
Okay, so maybe AJ Bakes.
Okay.
Maybe AJ Bakes AJ Bakes. So I want to like start my own bakery for whatever reason. I don't know, whatever reason it is. I want to have a bakery that I come and then I ask, hey Rini, I want to park the bakery under TFA, can or not? Can, because so it's like you know how like certain like business or like larger corporations, right? Like they have the main company and then like they have all the sub baby company. Something.
Sisters company lah. Something like that lah. Sisters company.
Sisters company.
Yeah, you can call it sisters company. Yeah.
Sisters company. Yeah. So in the end, like AJ Bakes is still related to TFA, but in the baking section. Yes. So I mean, I'm just putting it in an example. If let's say,
correct.
Because like, I mean, let's be honest, right? As freelancers, you know, with the digital age, with the trend, you know, sometimes our business might not be like the current business that we have might not be able to evolve quick enough. And therefore we need to come up with new side business, for example. Yeah, so new side business to like fit that theme or to fit that current trend. And then you have to, if you have a new idea, then where are you going to park this new idea? Like sole prop again.
Yeah.
So it's good if, let's say, you know, you work with like one main company, then you just put it in a sister company.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean,
that's so it's kind of like how the private limited company is kind of like supporting the rest of the company.
Yeah, it's like the parent.
Yeah, the parent lah. So like for example, TFA private limited, then will support my company and AJ's company together. So if there's anything happen, you know, then TFA can kind of like support in that sense. But of course, it has to align lah with all your businesses. But I know there are some companies that it's totally different. Like the parent company is totally different than the sub companies. So it can work as well. So if let's say like what I think AJ mentioned earlier on, this business may not work for you, you want to get another one, then you can. If you do have private limited company, you need to park under your private limited company, you can do that as well. Yeah. So the only thing, of course, for a private limited company, is a little bit more taxing in a sense that yes, of course, you need to have mandatory your accounting records, your profit and loss records, just like the LLP. And most of the time when you want to incorporate a private limited company, you need a secretariat. So there is a person, a legit person, a secretariat person who will help to incorporate your private limited company into ACRA, because there's a lot of paperwork to be done when you want to register for a private limited company. If you do have the capacity to, you know, do research, to do the paperwork, to keep your accounting records all by yourself, yes, you can do that as well. But most of the time, the private limited company will have a secretariat that will help them with the accounting every year. Yeah. So it's like if you actually work with a company, they have like accountant and all that. So if you are running business, you can hire an accountant if you have the funds. But you can also outsource as a secretary. There's a lot of secretariat out there. They even now have what do you call it? it's not like a permanent secretariat, but
temporary,
like
freelance.
Yeah. Something like that lah. It's like a platform where they handle a lot of accounts, different business. So they even have online secretariat company now. So it's really evolving in terms of the accounting, in terms of the secretarial rules. Yeah. So that's private limited.
Yes.
So have you covered everything?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So again, even with this life, right? Sometimes you may still have questions, correct? Because we all, even ourselves,
we also have questions.
Yeah. Like even ourselves, we still have questions, because if we want to convert from one entity to another entity, what is the process? Is it the same as a fresh company, or is it just submitting one paper, or is it just converting from the website? Like how can we convert? Because if let's say both of us are in sole prop, then suddenly I want to jump to private limited. Like what's the process? Is it I must close my company first and then I open a new private limited, or is it going to be a smooth transition where I just go into back end of the aircraft website? Okay, I just click off a button, I switch from sole prop to private limited. Is it that easy? So all these things, questions, I know you all also have these questions. We also have these questions.
Yep.
So it's really crucial to get all our questions answered by someone who have experienced all entities.
Wow.
Right, AJ? Yep. Yeah, because our expert is someone who have experienced all the entities. Yes. He has gone through from SP to LLP to private limited, and he has done all the papers. And I remember I did ask him about the secretarial part of the business. He actually do it himself. So I'm like, salute.
So he didn't like get
he didn't secretary.
Okay.
So the amount of information that he has stored in his brain, I feel is something that is easier for people to understand, because it will be in a layman terms.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you read on website, right, there are a lot of words that may be jargons for you that you don't understand, like incorporated, secretariat,
like
what else? Proprietorship. Yeah, these are all the jargons that they use in the website. And then sometimes they even have like fine prints which you may overlook. So our bike class, it's all basically I wouldn't say busting the myth, but kind of like
busting myth.
Yeah, we are not busting any myth, but it's more of like giving you the clarity if you have not experienced registering your company at all. Correct. Yeah, whether even whether sole prop. Sometimes we even have our freelancers who actually ask us, is it important to register? Why should I even register? Because totally agree that sometimes we have the thought that why should I?
Yep.
And these are some of the questions that you have at the back of your mind, and these are some of the answers that you will get in our bike class. So if you can't catch us live in person tonight, you can actually purchase our replay on our website.
Yes,
okay?
Correct.
Anything to add, AJ?
I think we pretty much covered everything. We've really shared our experiences and what we know. And I think what we're doing is that whatever we experience and whatever knowledge we know, we are really delivering it in like layman terms already.
Correct.
So that you guys are tuning in this live or you're watching it later on, it's easier to digest, so it's digestible. And somehow registering a business isn't that scary after
Of
all.
course. Yeah.
You know, because I mean, like, we always think that, oh no, we have to like register a business. Oh no, like I'm going to screw up. You know? Yeah, so chill. All right, take a chill pill, relax. So it's not as scary as you might think it is, because we've been there as well. And, you know, we also had an initial thought, but hey, if we're serious about business, then we have to, you know, overcome this fear that we might have.
Correct.
Yeah, so I think we really shared whatever we have. And if you do want to know more, we have our back class happening tonight at 7:30 p.m. It's very employee friendly, I would say, because after your work you can just head down and
employee friendly.
Yeah, I mean the reason why partly the reason why we set it at a later timing or like after working hours, because we do understand that we have freelancers who are also holding a full-time job, which is perfectly fine. So if you have a full-time job and then they're only available after working hours, so that's why I put it employee friendly. Yeah, so if let's say today you have a date, or I don't know, dinner Friday night, but it is okay, you can enjoy yourself, you can always come and purchase our replay, which will always be available after tonight's session.
Correct.
Yes,
correct. All right, okay, so we have covered the whole, basically our experiences on these business entities. What can our viewers expect for next week video?
I need to check. I was like, in my head, right, it's all business entity.
Okay. Let me say, okay. Next week we are going to talk about contracts. Yes, we are going to talk about contracts, and this is something that freelancers again fear sometimes. Register also fear, then contracts also can
fears.
a bit fear. Yeah. But it's good to do contracts, because you need to support, or basically to kind of like what do you call it? Back yourself up. Yeah, in that sense.
Yeah.
Because so contracts is really important, even if you're doing it side hustle, whether side hustle, full hustle,
whatever hustle
that you are in, contracts are very, 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 very important.
Yes.
Okay.
And
so
the live. So we're gonna have 2 special live that we will be appearing alone. So we're gonna be Rini. Wrong side. Rini.
you are here. You are here.
You're here. Oh, okay. I'm on the other side. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, maybe we just like break the news. Okay, that's not
news.
That's not breaking news, but so the reason why we have to do on our own is because surprisingly, the two of us somehow, in whatever universe plan, has placed our traveling plans after one
in the
another.
same month.
Yeah, like in the same one is one. Okay, so in the same one is one thing, but then like after one another. So I feel right that like they are telling us that we cannot have both founders disappear at the same time.
Oh wait.
Like both founders hiatus at the same time cannot. So okay, so maybe Rini go first, then AJ, or AJ go first, then Rini.
Yes.
So we all.
I think it happens to the previous time also, right?
Last
year was it?
Yeah.
Last year. I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, it happens that you went first, then I went for a short while or something like that. Yeah.
So then this time around, Rini's gonna go first, and I'm gonna go after that. So
one
thing about running a business with a partner is that we can support each other when the other person is away.
Correct. So next week you're gonna see AJ live alone talking about contracts.
Yes.
And I'll be going live alone. In the following next 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks later.
Yeah, 2 weeks later. I'll be talking about goal setting.
Yes.
Even though it's already February, already February, but goal setting is always ongoing.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so it's not like you set goal in January, it's for December, you know, like
you forget about it, you know.
Yeah.
Then you forget about it, you realize that I'm not achieving anything. So it's always good to, you know, revisit your goals.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Ken, so thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching this replay. We will see you the next live. Bye.